could see isolated thunderstorms. Back with a complete weather update in just a moment. Stay with us.
Next on Northwest News today, Don just mentioned it, wildfire season picks up steam in Oregon and Washington. A look at where the major ones are burning. Then an emotional homecoming, family members embrace and defend the two journalists freed from jail in North Korea. And
God, have you seen her? She ain't pretty.
Northwest landlord accused of spying on his tenants talks very candidly on camera. We're glad you're with us today. I'm Erik Sandoval. Your news starts now.
This is NWCN, Northwest Cable News. Northwest news and weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Today.
Mother Nature sparks dozens of wildfires across the Northwest, and the danger is far from over today. Here is where the 5 largest fires are burning right now in Washington and Oregon. So far, all of them have charred more than 1,000 acres. In fact, the second largest fire in Yakima, Washington, has scorched more than 3,000 acres, and it's only about 10% contained. The largest fire is in Central Oregon, though, near Antelope, and this is footage of that lightning-sparked wildfire. So far, it has blackened more than 15,000 acres, and strong winds are fueling those flames. No evacuations are in place, at least not right now, but at one point, that fire forced crews to shut down a nearby youth camp. With more on the Northwest fire danger, let's head right back to meteorologist Don Carson. Now, not a pretty picture across the Northwest, huh?
Not a pretty picture at all, Eric. In fact, there's still a great deal of potential for additional fires across a very large part of the region. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. The red shaded areas that we're looking at there, that's where we have the red flag warnings in effect, and the yellow shaded areas fire weather watch. Now, it's a combination of low relative humidity, warm temperatures, and scattered thunderstorms with abundant lightning, and that'll create explosive fire growth potential across all of these areas. Now, the storms are expected to last well into the night and even into Thursday morning. Now, the good news is that heavy rain is possible from Thursday afternoon through Friday across these areas. Much cooler temperatures will also arrive late Thursday into Friday. But between now and then, Eric, it looks like it's still a very volatile situation for a very large part of the country there.
Yeah, it does. Don, we'll let you keep tabs on that for us. Thanks a lot. Okay. Not just the lower 48, Canadian firefighters continue to battle a wildfire burning in British Columbia today. Flames are chewing up at least 8,000 acres near Lillooet. High temperatures and drought are fueling those fires, started also by lightning. So far, at least 2,000 people have evacuated their homes. Beyond the Northwest, 2 freed American journalists are back on U.S. soil right now. Laura Ling and Yuna Lee both arrived in Burbank, California today after spending 5 months jailed in North Korea. Friends and family greeted the 2 women for the emotional homecoming earlier today. Former President Bill Clinton, of course, helped negotiate their pardon yesterday during a meeting with North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-il. Back in March, North Korean officials sentenced Ling and Lee to 12 years hard labor for illegally crossing into that country. Today, Ling's sister, Lisa, who's also a journalist, defended their actions.
Whatever happened that day, I mean, she'll tell you when she's ready to talk about it, but based on the limited knowledge that I have, I don't think they use poor judgment.
We could feel your love all the way in North Korea. It is what kept us going in the darkest of hours. It is what sustained our faith that we would come home.
Laura Ling and Yuna Lee work for former Vice President Al Gore's Current TV. Investigators learned more about a man who opened fire inside a Pennsylvania gym last night. 48-year-old George Sidoni walked into an LA Fitness aerobics class, turned off the lights, and then fired dozens of shots. He killed 3 women and injured 10 others before he turned the gun on himself. Police say he has no connection to any of his victims there. We're also told the suspect kept an online journal about years of rejection by women and claimed that he tried to carry out the attack in January, but, quote, chickened out. Back in the Northwest, a memorial grows for an 8-year-old Idaho boy now presumed dead. The Ada County coroner says a body pulled from a canal on Monday is most likely that of Robert Manuel, but he's still waiting on dental records to confirm it. Manuel vanished from his mother's apartment more than a week ago. The Boise police now say that they're doing everything they can to find out how and why Robert died.
Finding Robert will not be the end, but just the beginning of an entirely new investigation. Our priority remains finding answers for Robert's family and this community.
The coroner says the body found in the canal was badly decomposed, which of course makes it more difficult to determine how he died. Seattle police are investigating a motorcycle crash that killed 36-year-old Carl Johnson and critically injured his friend. And as King 5's Jennifer Cabala reports, Johnson's motorcycle buddies today are now mourning a man they considered a brother.
Friends gather outside the Drama Boys Motorcycle Club clubhouse, supporting each other after the loss of a fellow member, Carl Johnson III.
You know, I'm just in shock and awe about the whole thing.
Many members considered Johnson family.
Good guy, very good guy. You know, he touched a lot of people.
So it's a brother I didn't have, and a best friend, just someone you can talk to.
At 2 o'clock this morning, Johnson was riding in front of the clubhouse on Martin Luther King Way. He was with a friend and fellow club member when the two crashed. Johnson died immediately. His friend, whose name has not been released, was rushed to Harborview Hospital with serious injuries.
His arm may be missing from the elbow down, but other than that, he's going to be just fine.
The Drama Boys say they'll be visiting him in the hospital today and praying for his speedy recovery. But the loss of Johnson is at the forefront of their minds.
You know, we miss you. Roll him up. Love you, man.
Jennifer Cabala, King 5 News.
Officers say speed was likely a factor in this crash. They don't believe the two bikes collided. Light rail train service is now back on schedule. Police in Oregon are searching for two women accused of ripping off dozens of people in a grocery store. Take a look at this surveillance video. It's from a Safeway in Woodburn. The alleged crooks target their victims in a store aisle. Then one of the women gets in between the shopping cart and the victim, and that's when one of the suspects snatches the victim's wallet right out of her purse. Woodburn police say they can't believe how brazen the suspects were.
I was very surprised. I mean, when you see the video, surveillance video yourself, it's kind of like, wow, you know, just that blatant. I cannot believe that they would be that, you know, just so obvious and just nonchalant about it.
If you have any information on this, please call police. A landlord in Southwest Washington is defending claims today that he spied on a tenant. The alleged victim says 65-year-old Paul Stickle rigged his bathroom with hidden cameras and built a secret viewing area to spy on her. She says it happened during 3 weeks that she rented a room from him. Now, this is video of Stickle showing a reporter with our affiliate KGW around his house. Stickle says the woman had her own bathroom and should not have used his. KGW asked him directly, though, if he'd ever spied on his tenant.
Not her. God, have you seen her? She ain't pretty.
But have you ever looked at anybody's?
It's none of anybody's business what the hell I've done. Who in the, is this Nazi Germany, for sakes, where you got the Gestapo crashing through your doors and you have no rights?
Stickle appeared in court yesterday and is set to appear in court again on August 18th. Oh, it's a tiny mistake, but it could cost the Port of Seattle $1 million. The Seattle Times reporting a trench at the new cargo terminal is 2/100ths of an inch too narrow. Crews delayed the opening of Terminal 30 for 2 months while they installed a new, smaller cable for it. But now the port may have to give a rent credit to SSA Marine because of the delayed opening, and that could exceed $1 million. U.S. senators may get a late start to their August vacation. That is, if they don't act quickly on the Cash for Clunkers program. Today, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid warned that if they don't work something out, he's going to have to file motions to close debate. And that would mean votes on Friday and Saturday. The Senate is scheduled to leave at the close of business on Friday. The Senate is expected to approve the $2 billion extension. Without it, money would run out by Friday. If the extension does pass, the trade-in program would run through next month. And today we're showing you how to take advantage of that Cash for Clunkers plan. Coming up in 11 minutes, a crash course, if you'll pardon the pun, on the Cash for Clunkers program. Then if you can't go around it, you may as well go over it. Just like that horsey did. We're going to show you that leap of faith coming up over a car. Before we take a break, though, a look at Hayden Lake this Wednesday afternoon. A little cloudy there earlier today. Don Carson's back with a look at the 5-day forecast for you.